There are things that will quietly drain your wallet, get you fined hundreds of dollars, or even get you removed from the ship at the next port, and most passengers walk right into these traps without ever knowing the rules existed. If you've been cruising for years, maybe decades, you know the drill on most things. But I'll be honest with you, a few of these caught experienced cruisers completely off guard, and some of them are still happening on nearly every sailing. Welcome back. For those of us who've been cruising a long time, it's easy to assume we know what we're doing, and for the most part, we do. But cruise lines have quietly tightened their policies, upgraded their detection systems, and added fees that weren't there 5 or 10 years ago. So today I'm walking you through 17 mistakes passengers keep making in their cabins and on their balconies, mistakes that range from a surprise charge on your final bill to a fine, a forced disembarkation, or worse. I'll tell you what's actually happening, why the lines enforce it so hard, and exactly what to do instead. Some of these you'll know, but stay with me, because the ones toward the end of this list are the ones that surprise even seasoned cruisers, and there's one in particular I consider the most underestimated safety mistake on any ship. We'll get there. If this is helpful, tap the thumbs up, it really does help the channel, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Let's get into it. We're gonna start with the money traps, because those hit you before you even realize what happened. Then we'll move into the safety and policy violations, which are a different kind of costly. And I'll flag the ones where the consequences go well beyond a charge on your account. Number 1, the minibar. I know you've heard this one, but hear me out because it's gotten worse. That cold bottle of water, those snacks sitting right there at eye level when you walk in, they look harmless. And if you have a drink package, you might assume they're covered. They are not. On Royal Caribbean, for example, a can of soda that costs you around $3 at any bar on the ship will run you closer to $7 or $8 from the minibar. And the problem isn't just the price. It's that people don't realize they're being charged until they see the final bill and find $50, $80, sometimes over $100 in charges they can't account for. The reason this works so well is pure placement. Those items are positioned right where you see them when you're tired after a long port day, or when you wake up at 2 in the morning and don't want to walk to the bar. The cruise line is counting on that moment of convenience. After years of cruising, here's what I do instead. I bring my own snacks from shore at every port stop, I order drinks from the bar where my package covers them, and if I'm going to use anything from that minibar at all, I check the in-cabin price list first. The prices are printed right there in the cabin menu. Most people never open it. Number 2, smoking in your cabin or on your balcony. This one has become dramatically stricter, and the enforcement is not what it was 10 years ago. In 2023 alone, Carnival removed over 140 passengers from sailings specifically for smoking in cabins or on private balconies. No warnings. Off at the next port, at your own expense to get home. The base fine for smoking in a cabin starts at around $250. If you trigger a smoke detector and these are sensitive enough to detect a vape, you're looking at an additional $500 on top of that. Why so strict? Because a single poorly extinguished cigarette caused a fire on the Star Princess that destroyed one cabin and damaged 13 others. The lines now use thermal cameras and sensors that didn't exist a decade ago. If you smoke, use the designated smoking areas on the open deck. Check the times many lines restrict smoking after midnight, and be aware that some newer ships have eliminated smoking areas almost entirely. This is not an area where the lines are lenient, and experienced cruisers need to know that the rules have genuinely changed. Number 3, taking the robes and towels. These look like souvenirs. They are not, and cruise lines have gotten very good at catching people who take them. Towels, robes, and many linens now have RFID chips sewn into the tags, and the exit points have scanners. If something flagged walks off the ship, you'll know about it. A cotton robe that looks like it costs $25 will appear on your account at around $95. Large towels run around $65. Even pool towels have chips and carry a charge of around $45. Here's what is actually free and allowed: small hand towels and standard toiletries. If you genuinely love the robe and want one, ask at guest services. Some lines will sell them officially at a lower price. Or bring your own beach towels from home. That's the cleanest solution, and it saves you the hassle entirely. Now, before I get to number 4, I want to mention something. Between everything I'm covering in this video, the minibar traps, the balcony rules, the fines, the safety protocols, there's a lot more depth to each of these topics than I can fit into one video. The Seasoned Cruisers Complete Pack covers all of this in detail. The exact questions to ask before you book, the fees most passengers only discover after they sail, the upgrades that are actually worth paying for, and a checklist for boarding day that keeps you from making the expensive mistakes on day one. You'll find the link in the description, or you can scan the code on your screen right now. And stay with me, because what's coming up next is where the real surprises start, and the one I consider the single most underestimated mistake on this whole list is still ahead. Number 4. Using tape or adhesive hooks on your cabin walls. This one catches a lot of people, especially families celebrating a birthday or anniversary who want to put up a few decorations or hang some photos. The cabin walls on a cruise ship are metal under a specialized anti-corrosion paint, and that paint is expensive to repair. Tape residue requires significant sanding. Even a simple sticky hook can pull off layers of coating. The charges are real, around $75 for tape marks, $150 for unauthorized hooks, and up to $500 or more if you damage a wood panel or a mirror. The safe approach is magnets. Because the walls are metal, magnets work perfectly and leave no damage at all. Many cruisers traveling with family keep a small set of magnets specifically for this. Put your photos on the dresser. Ask the front desk about approved decoration kits if you're celebrating something. And if you're sailing with grandchildren, this rule applies to them drawing on walls too. A professional cleaning charge is automatic. Number 5. Washing clothes in the cabin sink. This sounds harmless. It is not. Cruise ship drains are roughly a quarter the size of a standard home drain, and the vacuum plumbing system is shared across multiple cabins. Even a single pair of socks can create a blockage. Laundry soap causes a foam buildup that compounds the problem and can affect neighboring cabins. If a clog traces back to your cabin, you're paying for the repair. If you need laundry done, use the ship service. Yes, it costs something, but it's far less than a plumbing repair bill. For longer sailings, the better move is simply packing enough clothes or using a self-service laundry room if your ship has one. This is one of those rules that sounds trivial until it isn't. Number 6. Opening both the cabin door and the balcony door at the same time. This is one almost nobody talks about, and I want to spend a moment on it because the consequences are more serious than people realize. Cruise ships maintain calibrated air pressure systems throughout the cabin corridors. When you open the main door and the balcony door simultaneously, you create a pressure differential, effectively a wind tunnel. Items can be blown off surfaces and out through the balcony in seconds. The doors themselves can slam with enough force to cause a serious hand injury. On the Norwegian breakaway, a passenger lost a passport and wallet this way. The MSC Seaside reported a child treated in the ship's medical center after a door slammed on their fingers due to this exact situation. The fix is simple, and it only takes a second. Always close one door completely before you open the other. Make sure everyone in your cabin knows this, especially younger family members traveling with you. Number 7. Leaning on balcony railings or attempting photos from them. I want to be direct here because this is a safety matter, not just a policy issue. Balcony railings on cruise ships are approximately 1 meter or about 3 feet high. They are not designed to bear the full weight of a person leaning against them at an angle. Wind speeds at sea can exceed 50 kilometers per hour, and a sudden ship movement or an unexpected gust can destabilize you in a fraction of a second. In 2019, a passenger on the Carnival Glory died after falling from a balcony. This risk is compounded significantly by alcohol. Most overboard incidents involving balconies happen late at night after drinking. If you want photos from your balcony, take them from a standing position inside the threshold with the door open. If you are traveling with young grandchildren, request a cabin without a balcony or keep the balcony door locked when you're not actively using it. This is one of those items where I have no interest in being diplomatic about the risk. Have you ever come close to one of these situations yourself? Or known someone who has? Drop a note in the comments. I read every single one, and I think it helps others to hear real experiences. Number 8. Leaving the Do Not Disturb sign on for more than 24 hours. This is a policy change that has been formalized across most major lines in recent years. Cabin stewards are now trained to report doors with prolonged Do Not Disturb signs. After 24 hours, security has both the authority and the obligation to enter the cabin for a welfare check. This is a passenger safety protocol, not an invasion of privacy, and it will happen. If security enters and you're simply resting, you'll receive a formal warning. A repeat situation can result in a mandatory meeting with the ship's security officer. The practical fix: take the sign down at least once a day, even if you then put it back. If you genuinely need extended privacy, notify guest services directly. And never leave it on when you're off the ship on a shore excursion. Number 9. Candles, incense, or any open flame in your cabin. Zero tolerance is not a phrase cruise lines use lightly, and this is one area where they mean it absolutely. Smoke detectors on cruise ships are calibrated at a significantly higher sensitivity than residential or hotel detectors. A single candle can trigger alarms not just in your cabin, but throughout your section of the ship within seconds. In 2022, a passenger on the MSC Grandiosa caused a full ship evacuation with incense. The minimum fine for triggering a false alarm is around $500. More serious incidents can result in disembarkation, and some luxury lines, including Celebrity and Holland America, have issued lifetime bans for repeat violations. If you want ambient light in the evening, battery-operated LED candles are widely available, and many ships sell them on board. For fragrance, heat-free diffusers are the safe option. Ask at the front desk if you're not sure what's permitted. This is the one I consider the most underestimated mistake on this whole list. Not because it happens the most often, but because the consequences, a ship-wide evacuation, a lifetime ban, or an enormous fine are completely out of proportion to what most people think is an innocent habit. It surprises me how frequently this still comes up. Number 10. Flushing the wrong things down the cabin toilet. Cruise ship toilets use a powerful vacuum system that is nothing like a residential plumbing setup. One wrong item can block the system for an entire section of cabins, and repairs at sea cost roughly 5 times what the same repair would cost on land. The bill gets passed to whoever caused the problem. The items that cause the most damage? Wet wipes, even those labeled biodegradable feminine hygiene products, and yes, this genuinely happens, diapers. Every cabin has a trash can that is emptied multiple times daily. That is where these items go. If you accidentally flush something you shouldn't have, tell your cabin steward immediately. It is far better to report it than to wait for a much larger problem to develop. Number 11. Bringing irons or non-approved extension cords. A regular clothes iron is the leading cause of cabin fires on cruise ships. An unapproved extension cord or power strip with a surge protector creates a short-circuit risk that can knock out power across an entire section of the ship. If security finds these items during inspection, and ships increasingly use detection equipment in luggage scanning areas specifically for this, they will be confiscated before you board, and you will receive an automatic fine of somewhere between $200 and $500. What is allowed? Cordless steam irons, which many ships also sell on board, power strips without a surge protector, and the ship's professional pressing service, which typically runs between $2 and $5 per garment. For those of us who care about how we look at dinner, the pressing service is genuinely worth it. The ironing facilities in the ship's self-service laundry rooms, where they exist, are also a good option. Now, here's something that people our age especially need to think about. Have you adjusted how you pack since the rules around electronics and irons got stricter? Tell me in the comments. I'm curious whether you've found a system that works. Number 12. Posting real-time cruise photos on social media. This one sounds like an overreaction until you understand exactly what the exposure is. Thieves at port destinations actively monitor popular cruise hashtags. Your photos, if they show your cabin number, which can appear reflected in mirrors or printed on a wristband in the background, give them a specific location. Your shore excursion posts reveal exactly when your cabin is empty. And your posted daily planner photo shows your precise schedule for the day. The safe approach is straightforward. Turn off location tagging on your apps before you travel, never show your boarding pass or ID wristband in photos, and save the posting for when you get home. You still get to share everything. You just do it after the fact, when the information is no longer useful to anyone with bad intentions. Number 13. Being rude or dismissive to your cabin steward. I want to be careful how I frame this, because I don't want it to sound transactional. The reality is these crew members work extremely long hours, they're away from their families for months at a time, and they take genuine pride in making your cruise comfortable. Treat them with the same respect you'd want extended to you. But there is also a practical reality here. Your cabin steward communicates directly with housekeeping supervisors and, in some situations, security. How your requests are handled, how quickly complaints get passed along, how well your cabin is maintained, all of this runs through that relationship. A simple hello and a genuine thank you each day costs nothing. Leaving a few dollars per night in a labeled envelope starting from day one is standard practice among experienced cruisers. If you have a specific request, ask early and ask politely. The difference in service is not subtle. Number 14. Leaving children alone in the cabin. This is not a gray area on any major cruise line. Children under 12 are not permitted to be left alone in a cabin under any circumstances. Teenagers between 13 and 17 require regular adult check-ins. This is written into the passenger contract that everyone signs at booking. Hallway cameras monitor cabin doors, and if a child is unsupported for over an hour, security will intervene. A violation can result in disembarkation with no refund. The ship's certified childcare services run between $15 and $20 an hour and are staffed by trained crew. Supervised kids clubs on family-oriented lines are another option. On a sailing with other adults in your group, taking turns is perfectly reasonable. The point is, make a plan before you need one. Number 15, trusting the cabin's safe completely. This is the one that surprises people, and it surprised me too the first time I looked into it carefully. The safes in most cruise cabins use generic factory codes combinations like 0000 or 1234 that many crew members know. Some models can be opened with a strong magnet. And unlike hotel room safes, many cruise cabin safes are not bolted to the wall, meaning the entire unit could theoretically be removed. What I do, I change the code immediately upon entering the cabin, using something that has nothing to do with my cabin number or birth date. I split my valuables passport in the safe, cash hidden separately. For anything genuinely irreplaceable, I use the main safe deposit facility at guest services on the ship. A portable lockbox with a physical combination lock, available for around $20 online, is another option worth considering for longer sailings. The cabin safe is better than nothing, but it should not be your only line of defense. Number 16. Drinking alcohol brought from shore in your cabin. Nearly every major cruise line prohibits passengers from consuming outside alcohol in their cabins, and the medical risk is separate from the policy issue. According to cruise line medical staff reports, 85% of nighttime medical emergencies on board are related to alcohol consumption in cabins. A visit to the ship's doctor runs somewhere between $500 and $3,000 depending on the treatment required, and that bill is yours entirely. If you enjoy a drink in your cabin in the evening, the sensible approach is to get it from the ship's bar, where staff are trained to monitor intake and where your drink package covers it. Have food and water available. And never mix alcohol with medication without speaking to your doctor first, especially relevant for those of us managing conditions that involve daily prescriptions. This isn't about not enjoying yourself. It's about not turning an enjoyable evening into a medical emergency. Number 17, skipping the muster drill. I'm saving this for last because it is both the most commonly rationalized mistake on this list and the one with consequences that extend beyond you personally. In 2019, the Carnival Horizon lost 2 full hours during a real fire emergency, searching for 23 passengers who had skipped the safety drill. 2 hours during an actual emergency is an extraordinary amount of time. By international maritime law, 100% passenger participation in the muster drill is required. No exceptions, no alternatives. If you miss it, security will track you via your cruise card and cabin cameras. Fines range from around $100 to $500 depending on the line. Repeated refusal can result in forced disembarkation, and the captain has the authority to delay departure or conduct a second drill if enough passengers miss the first one. Arrive 10 minutes early. Your emergency muster station is printed on your cruise card. Pay attention even if you've done it dozens of times, because the stations are ship-specific and vary from vessel to vessel. This is the one time where being the experienced cruiser means modeling the right behavior, not treating it as something beneath you. So there you have it. 17 mistakes, ranging from a charge you'll only notice when you check out to situations that can genuinely put you at risk or end your cruise early. Most of them are avoidable with a little awareness, which is exactly why I wanted to cover them here for those of us who cruise often enough to start assuming we know all the rules. If any of these surprised you, or if you've seen one of them play out on a sailing you've been on, I'd genuinely like to hear it. Drop a comment below. Which one of these was new to you? I rate every single one, and the conversations in the comments are often the best part. Next time, I'm covering the things you should do the very moment you board a handful of steps in the first 2 hours that set up your entire cruise. A few of them will surprise you, even if you've been sailing for years, so subscribe if you don't want to miss it. If this one was useful, tap the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps more people like us find the channel. Until the next port, take care of yourself.